Good afternoon and welcome. 10 past 12. It's Wednesday and it's Millwall away. What we're thinking today, guys. I'm on a little bit early today, I know, so apologies for that, but I have to fit stuff around my life. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm very, very busy at the moment, so I have to try and fit in things when I can. I do have like a normal life as well as this, and it is difficult to do it sometimes. But anyway, not to worry. Today we got Millwall. I hope we're going to get some of you on to have a little chat about it. I'll put my, well, do you know what I think has got a good chance of being the team tonight into the group earlier, and got a few people commenting on it. Few bordering on, being a bit pissy about it. You don't need to do that, guys. You can comment on someone else's team without getting personal about it. But some people just can't help themselves. It's how they are. Few people like that sort of thing about and they start to have a little go at a player. And I just got the feeling that a couple of people are having a little bit of a niggle at Osman. I noticed it at the weekend and I thought nothing of it. And then today I've seen someone have a go at him, and not right out like have a go yet. But I don't think it's going to be long. I hope it isn't. I hope I'm totally, absolutely hope I'm wrong. But I know what these people are like, and I know how it starts. And let's hope it isn't. Let's get a comment on, guys. We've got three of you on there. I haven't got a comment yet. That's taken a long time, longer than usual. Um, I don't know who's missing. Who isn't writing, who isn't speaking to me? Come on, come on. I want to see you. Hey, Lee Harvey's on. How you doing, Lee? First one on today, son. That's good. Well done. So Millwall away tonight. I've been to Millwall many times before, and well, it's always an exciting place to go, isn't it? Ben Colley's on. Hiya, Ben. How you doing, mate? We showed against Norwich, first 25, what we can do. I think we showed against Norwich the whole 95 or 96 or whatever it was, what we can do, because the game isn't just about going forward, is it? We defended extremely well against them. We had a goalkeeper who did make some miraculous saves. Um, we But having said that, we could have gone in at four up, and it wouldn't have been, it wouldn't have been a surprise. I mean, their keeper made a couple of really good saves, and we missed a couple of good chances. So I think the whole thing was good. The whole performance, right the way from the back four, the goalkeeper, the DMs, and the forwards. It all just looked very, very good to me. And of course, they're still getting used to playing with each other, aren't they? Paul James is on. How you doing, Paul? Nice to see you, mate. Good afternoon. Um, Lee's saying it's going to be a good game. I don't know if it's going to be a good game. It'll be an interesting game. What we have to remember against Millwall, and I'll put my team in earlier, and although I bothered to go through the process of explaining why I'd made certain changes, then someone comes on and goes, how come you dropped Ducks? I've just literally explained above the team why I didn't pick Ducks. The reason I haven't picked Ducks is for the same reason that I haven't put picked Doyle, is because they're not physical enough. Millwall are a team of giants. The back four, there's no one under 6'4". I think one centre half is 7 foot, I think, and then we got like two full backs who are well over 6. That's why. That's why we have to put a physical team in. Thanks very much, Lee. Thank you, mate. Bit of slaz. Um, so yeah, so it's that thing where it's horses for courses. Someone else saying, how can you change the team that played the other day? How come Stansfield's back? He's been playing crap. This is the lad that just played 2 hours against Leeds and run himself into the ground. How can you pick Stansfield? He's crap. He's been off form. What the hell are you talking about? Jesus. Sarah Lou need to get back to 7th, I think. 1-0 Blues. With Ducks scoring. I don't think Ducks will play. Well, I don't think he'll start. I agree. We need a big, strong team and attack for our lives. I think the point about Ducks is that he isn't that man that can battle with 6'6" centre halves. He just gets bullied. And someone else put in when I said I'd picked Osman, and this is what I mean about you start to get the feeling that there's a little bit of scapegoating going on. This guy goes that Osman can't play Osman, he'll be bullied. Why on earth would you say that? Where's he been bullied when he's played so far? What you want, mate, is a really fast, nippy winger against a 6'3" fullback. Come on, Jesus. Brian Collier attack, best form of defence. When you sit back, we won't be sitting back tonight and invite pressure. It only makes mistakes away from ruining it. To be objective, we were lucky against Norwich. Beadle was man of the match. I don't think the fact that Beadle was a man of the match says it all, to be honest. I mean, we were good front and back. The back four looked really, really good. I was just watching some of Panzo's tackles the other night. What a great signing he's been. And Norwich were like the form team of the table. You can't say, as if we're playing someone that they don't count. I think they've just got like 10 or 11 games or something. This is the form team. So, to think that we can just play like we did for the first half an hour for 90 minutes is just not going to happen. You haven't got that. It's that physicality. You can't keep that press and that pressure up. You're away from home as well. The home crowd gets there eventually. You're bound to sit a little bit deeper when you're two up. It's just one of them things, you got to, listen, I'm not going to be critical about them. They played really, really well against Norwich. I'm not going to have that I didn't deserve it and they were lucky. They were lucky. Did you see the two goals that we scored? Did you see all the chances that we missed? Did you see the passing from the close passing out of defence at the back? Did you see Panzo? Did you see Beadle saves? Did you see Brighton Asai Osman? Brighton Asai Samuel make two defence splitting passes down the right flank to set up both goals? Did you see Prisk going wide and putting an inch perfect goal for Ducks? Did you see all that? And just because it happens in the 25th or up to the 44th minute, it doesn't matter. It happened. Ben Colley, I mean, we were lucky not to concede a second. I don't think we were lucky. I think we defended well, and I do think that, Ben. And also, Norwich have thrown themselves around a bit, and you're going to get all right, well, mate, you have your opinion about us being very, very, very lucky. I don't know what the extra couple of verys mean. I don't know. Are you sort of having a go that we should have, perhaps lost or something? I don't know. If that's what you feel, fine. I watched the game. I didn't think we were very lucky at all. I think we came away with 3 points, and I think we were very unlucky not to score 4. You can look at it another way, can't you? But I think that we just looked really, really good. It will be a different team tonight because we're playing against a team. We're playing against a team tonight that are totally different to Norwich. They do try and play a bit of football. They play a 4-2-3-1 the same as we do, but they are a very big team and they play a physical game. So tonight is not a game for anyone that's a little bit shy of a ruck. You've got to get in the faces. Last time we played them, we had a small team. I think we had one person over 6 foot tall. It's all right, Ben. I don't think you're having a go, but I just think that now I think we've got 6 players over 6 feet tall. It's a completely different look that we have about our team, and Priska is going to frighten them to death because not only is he big, he's fast, and he can turn. We got Vicente coming down the right, and either Osman or Dimmy, whoever starts on the left, or even Patrick Roberts. I almost think definitely Vicente is going to start because he is that player that will go on the outside, and that those big 6'4" fullbacks are going to have an absolute nightmare against. You imagine Osman, you know what he does. He goes wide, he comes in on the byline. Can you see like a 6 foot, 6'4" right back trying to cope with him. Ben Colley saying we sit deep and invite pressure and looking nervous. Traore, well, Traore was really good and he had a real battle with Clara. A player like that, you could say, couldn't you, Ben, in all honesty, that, Vicente terrorised their left. You could say that, you can say a million things. I mean, both of our goals came down their left-hand side. Vicente looked unplayable at times. Asai Samuel and Vicente linked really, really well. So it's just two ways of looking at it, mate. And Paul James saying Blues won't be sitting back anymore. We have players now who will go and blah, blah, blah. Great defending now. Yeah, it was great defending. And Paul, what you're saying there, Paul, is it isn't, listen, if you play football yourself, if you are 2 up and you're going at half time away at somewhere like Millwall, whether you intend to sit a bit deeper or not, you tend to sit a bit deeper. It just happens. You're also a little bit tired. The home game, obviously being at home is an advantage as well, So I'm not, this is looking back at Norwich, I mean, we beat Norwich and we deserved the 3 points. I just think we have to, move on. We're playing Millwall tonight. We got those 3 points. That's 3 points, in our bank to get to the 69. And I've seen people saying we need to get back into 70. It doesn't matter where we are because all we got to look at is a points total at the end of the season. I reckon we get 69, 70, we're in that top 6. And it doesn't matter where we are now, it doesn't matter where we are tomorrow, it doesn't matter where we are in 2 weeks, where we are in May, that's when it matters. Where we are when we play Portsmouth, that's the game. That's the one that, we can't lose or whatever. Steve Bly saying Panzo could be a surprise addition to the team. Looking like the missing piece in the defence. Yeah, I mean, that centre-half partnership hasn't looked right all season, has it? Like Neumann just isn't the answer to play alongside Clara, I don't think. But Panzo looked absolute, he used class. I mean, this lad was an absolute superstar at Chelsea as a youngster. He's played for England at every level, every junior level. And then like he went abroad, and he's gone to a few different teams where, he's been a year, he's been on loan, he needs settling down. He's 25, he's approaching the best years of his career. Let's hope we can get it out of him. Graham Graham said hello. How you doing, Gray? You all right, mate? Hope you're okay. Ben's coming back. That was gilt-edged chance for Vicente. It was, mate. Could have been 3 at half time. Could have been 4. He's better. Well, it's not overall better than the home form, but it is recent home form. Yeah. The thing is, Ben, with that Vicente one, like when it comes in the first minute, you got to just really quickly turn yourself on. Unfortunately, he didn't. But it could have been 4. I mean, look at the chest down and sort of scissor kick from Priska. I mean, the keeper saves that. As soon as that left his boot, I knew that was 3-0. And I don't know where the keeper got it from to save it, So there's 2 ways of looking at it, Dave Peggy saying, good afternoon to me. How you doing, son? Quick visit over meeting at 1 to discuss my CIC. Agree with your lineup there. Thank you. The lineup is, it's just, I put it in there this morning just to have a little, discussion about it. Ben Colley saying, yeah, it's been on for 10 minutes. Yeah, I think so. And I think the other thing, Ben, as well, in all honesty, absolutely being perfectly honest, I think when Vicente scored, really that ball should have gone across to Ducks a little bit earlier. He hung on to it because he wanted to score, but it went under the keeper's arm. I think it was a bit fortunate for it to go in. Honestly, I haven't wanted to say that before, but I do think that. But it went in, and nothing will change that. So I don't know. This tonight's game is completely different. The Den is, I don't know, like a hard place to go. You got to look at the team. We absolutely smashed them at St Andrews. They didn't look up for it at all. Alex Neil is a good manager, but they haven't got the squad that we've got, and we can, over 90 minutes, we should be able to destroy them. That big back four is just there for the taking, honestly, and I'm sure that we're going to be making the most of that. That's why I honestly believe that we're going to be playing with Stansfield in the 10 and Priska in the, up front, because Stansfield is so much more physical than Ducks. Priska will mix it with anyone. And then behind them, see, this is a whole, with me, it's about the thought about playing Doyle. I just don't think he's physical enough against Millwall. You got Solis and Iwata, who is like a little, like a little bundle of muscle, isn't he? So I would think that's more likely to be the DMs, is more likely to be Solis and Iwata. But who knows, like Ethan Laird could start at right back, and Asai Samuel could start as a DM. You just don't know. I doubt that's going to happen, but you know what I mean. Steve Maguire saying good afternoon, Steve, and good afternoon everyone else. Good afternoon, Steve. Hope you're all right, mate. Form coming to stands, and we murdered them. Ben saying about Millwall getting murdered at St Andrews. We did, didn't we? I think that night it was absolutely pissing down, wasn't it? And we did look very good that night. But when you look at the team now and the team then, Millwall are on a little wobble, I think, as well. They've done so well to be where they are in the division, and I think they're gonna. I don't know. It's not gonna be an easy last quarter of the last half of the, well, not half, last sort of third of the season for them, because they haven't got the strength in depth, like we said. I think when you look at the team as well, of course they've got Bannon knocking around. Well, I don't think Bannon's going to be much good to them tonight. Paul James saying, I read Borough fans forum, they reckon we look very good and think we'll be a tough game for them. Well, we gave them a tough game there, Paul, at the Riverside, didn't we? To be honest, I think we deserved to win that game, but that was when Rob Edwards they just got rid of Rob Edwards, hadn't they? And the whole world and his dog was on Middlesbrough's side. Ben saying Borough wobbling too. Yeah, they are, mate. I don't. Yeah, I mean, all I'm concentrating on is getting on the top six. Top two. If we did by any absolute freak, make the top two, then obviously that's the way to go up in it. But if we don't, then obviously we want to get in the playoffs. Graham Price is saying exactly what you said. I presume you referring to me, Gray. I think. They've got they've got some good forwards on the right hand side. They've got Femi Aziz, so hopefully the use of Osman and Wagner on the left is going to keep Femi Aziz a little bit occupied with Kramer as his backup. So our attack down the left could actually sort of work as a bit of defence as well, like with Femi Aziz there. Denora is their right-sided DM, and he is a quality player. They have got some good players. Of course, they've got Cooper and Taylor, the two gigantic centre halves. Doty and like I said, Clara are the two, Kramer are the two fullbacks, but they're all massive. Um, and up front, Ivanovic, who is a quality striker. So we've got to be switched on. Depends who's taking whom. Um, I don't know. We'll see what happens tonight. Depends what team they play as well. You never know. They might play Barry Bannon. I mean, I would hate that because he's a little twat, you know. Paul James saying it'll be tougher next year with Spurs coming down. Yeah, but we'll miss them because we'll be going the opposite direction, so it don't matter, mate. About being physical, Graham's saying about the game being physical, it will be great because they're a massive team, and but it's pretty good, you know, when you look at that, because that sort of team we quite like playing against. It's the teams that sit back. I mean, they won't sit back, especially at the Den, and they play a similar. You know, they play the same system as us, so we'll see. Um, Ben say we need to play a bunch of top teams. Uh, Look at top six is tightening up. Yeah, and it is, and they are all playing each other as well. I was looking at a couple of runnings the other day. They all seem to be playing each other, which is brilliant. Dan Garvey saying hello to me. Top two would be a major wobble by both Borough, yeah, and me. I agree with you there, mate. And Ipswich, plus to get maybe 30 plus points from 13, it's highly unlikely. I did actually say to someone this morning there's 42 points left, there's not, there's 39. Steve Lyons is saying a lot of people are beginning to say it could be a Blues v Wrexham playoff final. I mean, you have no idea, do you? Because you don't know where they're going to finish. Like Graham Parrish is making the point that Ipswich have got games in hand, so I would say Ipswich are definitely a big threat to the top two. But looking at you know, if you're a Borough or a Coventry, if you fail now and end in the playoffs, you're almost on a downer when you get there, you know. Whereas if we get there, we're the team with the form team going into the playoffs, and the form team often wins it. Ben saying Borough 2 points from 9, yeah, I know, mate, yeah. If we turn them over, that's 2 points from 12. I mean, that really isn't very good form, is it? With Wrexham, I know they beat Ipswich 5-3 on Saturday, but I just don't like Wrexham. It's not really that I don't. I mean, I just don't like them anyway. You know, some clubs you just don't like. I just don't like Wrexham, but also like the way they play. Phil Parkinson is like a footballing dinosaur. I don't know how he's still there, but I do because he keeps getting them promoted. But to have that quality of player that he's got, and he still plays with a back five, he's just unbelievable. And I think he plays like that because he doesn't know how to play any other way. That's what I think. I just don't think he can coach in any other way than to play with wing backs, and it holds Wrexham back. I think, you know, like they did beat Ipswich, but they conceded 3. And I know it doesn't matter if you win every game that you play 4-3, you're going to get promoted. But you know what I mean? I just don't think if they go up and they play with a back five, they are down by Christmas. You know, it doesn't work in the Premier League. It doesn't work in the Championship. But what are they? 6th, aren't they? I don't know. But you know, let's not get excited about league positions because, like I said earlier, it's not important at this stage. The important thing is, you know, he's been there on the last day. Paul James saying they're overachieving, not being unkind, just my opinion. I think they're overachieving as well, definitely, you know. But they have got some quality players, but they just how they use them. You know, I think they're sort of in the top 6 despite Warburton, not because of him. You know, I think a better manager would have that team probably in the top 3 or 4 with the squad they've got. Dan Garvey is saying last 8 games, Blues 18 points, Millwall 16. Yeah, they might as well give it us now then, mate. But they lost at Portsmouth, home to Portsmouth on Saturday. So, you know, their last game home to Portsmouth, the fans aren't going to be too happy, and we go a goal up, and those fans turn fast at the Den. So let's see what happens when and if we score. This game, I'm a lot more confident about this game than I was about the Norwich game. I did say that I thought we would beat Norwich, but just because I think, it isn't how I thought it would pan out the way it did, but it's sort of the result I thought that might happen. It was close, and we both prove what good teams we are. Chris Hammond is saying that Millwall are overachieving to hugely big ask to get points there tonight, but it's doable. Yeah, I don't know. Chris, they're a hard team to beat, at the best of times, and they have had a fantastic season. I think it might unravel a little bit now. They're sort of the team that we would want to play, because playing them away from home, they'll come and have a go. They will try and play football. They did at St Andrews, but they got taught a lesson. But they will have a go. They'll try and play. They're at home. They'll try and play through us or over us. But I think now, with the added dimension of Priska, we have, extra tools in our toolbox, and you see what team I would pick, and that's what the team that I would go with. Start fast, quick down both wings, Vicente and Osman going wide, running them to death, cutting in on the flanks, coming along the byline. They're both good at that. It's just a penalty waiting to happen, isn't it? Mark my words. So if we're talking about this tomorrow and we talk about penalties, remember I said this now, all right? Tonight is made for us to get a penalty. That's what I think. Let's have a little look at our comments so far. Paul James is saying, Saints it in form. They won't be fine. No, all the good teams are sort of coming now, aren't they? And it's that thing, isn't it, Paul, where you say, well, everyone says, you hear it all the time. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and it is. So it doesn't matter where you are after, in a marathon. It doesn't matter where you are after 15 miles. It matters where you are after 26. And at the moment, we're 15 miles, and we just, we just want to medal, don't we? In other words, we want to get in the top 6. So we're well capable to do it. The only thing he might do tonight, which I think would be the wrong thing to start, would be to play start Paddy Roberts and have Vicente on the bench. But I would go with Vicente from the start, because we can run them from the very beginning, and then soften them up later for Dimmy and Paddy Roberts. But I don't know, really. I'm not Chris Davis, and thank God, I don't think we'd be where we are now if I was Chris Davis. But Chris is a thoughtful manager. He's got a lot of. He's done a lot of opposition analysis in his career, and of course we've got a job going at the moment. If anyone fancies it, for free kick specialist and opposition analysis. So that's a new role that's been created, and that'll be good to get a specialist in. Graham Price is saying looking good against us. To be fair, look good against us. They did, yeah. Southampton are a good team. They had a funny start to the season, a lot of teams didn't they? And it's like what's happened to Sheffield United, and what's happened to Ipswich. And well, they're coming now, aren't they? Southampton are coming up. Ipswich are sitting there. We're around and about. Borough are up there. Ipswich are around there. Cov. I never fancied Coventry at the start of the season, to be honest, but Coventry are there. So Daniel Garvey saying Vicente must. He tackles back, and Millwall play attacking right back, and he's very mobile. He is, yeah. That right hand side of Millwall's, though, I think one of the things about playing Osman could be that we can pin him back a little bit because Femi Aziz on that right hand side is going to give Wagner a good run for his money, and of course he's covering centre half Panzo when he attacks, and Kramer is the right fullback, and he'll be backing up Aziz. So they will come down our left, but we are strong on that left hand side. We've got Iwata, Wagner, Osman tracks back, and Osman can tackle. And then of course we've got Panzo to cover as well on the left. So I would say like our left hand side is probably, I was going to say stronger than our right hand side, but I don't really know if it is. Like on the right, you got a Sai Samuel who looked absolutely out of his skin, didn't he, on Saturday? Clara, who, you could see Clara playing in the Millwall team, couldn't you? He's that kind of player. He's like big, he's hard, puts his head anywhere. But then you got Solis in front of him, who looks an absolute, world beater, and Vicente, who also tracks back, so we're good on both sides. Steve Markey is saying good afternoon, ST, and everyone. Good afternoon, guy. I'm Stevie boy. How you doing? Daniel Garvey saying attacking left back. Yeah, that's Kramer. Sorry, left back. Did you say? I'm sorry, mate. Yeah, Doughty. You got Doughty, Mitchell, and Watson on the left. I don't think it's as attacking as the right hand side, but they're a bit like us, really. They're playing a similar way to us. They just haven't got the quality that we've got, I don't think. Paul James is saying, you've been on and been off again, Paul. I thought you'd been on once. I'm really looking forward to seeing this game tonight. I hope that the weather isn't too bad. Gauchi had a mare of a game against Pompey. I mean, he may not. Obviously, we don't know he's going to start, do we? But he may do. He's not that. But like I was saying, that back four, they're huge, aren't they? Absolutely massive. I see our old friend Lyndon got a goal against the Baggies last night. Baggies sacked the manager this morning, didn't they? So. I feel a bit sorry for that manager really, because I think Albion were trying to do it on the cheap. They brought him in and took a gamble on him, Ramsey, and I feel a bit sorry for him because he hasn't done what they expected. What they should have done was gone out and get a Gary Rowett type. Of course, he's gone to Leicester now. I think Rowett would have been made for the Albion. He'd have kept them up. He knows the area, he knows the Albion, knows how to defend. So Dave Pegg's saying the weather's looking good, dry and reasonably mild. That's good then. Steve Donnelly saying only just tuning in. Have you mentioned Nemesis Barry Bannon maybe playing? I have mentioned him. Whether he plays or not, I don't know. Obviously, they lost on Saturday at home to Portsmouth, so there could be a few changes. I've just looked at the Portsmouth team, to be honest. Dan Garvey saying, and Kuma scored again for Hull. Yeah, and people, I was saying earlier, it looks to me like a few people are just starting to have a little bit of a niggle at Osman. He needs to change his studs. He falls over too much. He had a go. Yeah, you can almost see it coming, can't you? But if I was Brighton, I don't think I'd ever loan us another player. We've had Cashin, Beadle, and Osman now, and the first two have certainly come in for a lot of stick, despite and I know Cashin was a bit of a mare at the start, but towards the end he looked really, really good, and he's a good fullback. A £9 million fullback stroke centre half. And then you got like the England goalkeeper, who people were saying on Saturday he's shit, and then you got this new lad now who looks like he's going to tear a few new ones for a few people, and it's starting to get a little bit niggly about him. I hope not. Paul James, it's gone well pear-shaped down there. No boing boing at the moment. I would love. I don't like. I'd love them to go down. Really, the Albion. I don't love anyone to go down because it is horrible. But you know what? I think I wouldn't mind them going down a lot. Leicester to go as well, but I don't know if they're both going to go. James Milton is coming, so I'm so impressed with Priska. He's a handful. He's a handful. His link-up play is great. He's got everything strong, fast, both-footed. He's really, really good. I was surprised at him. When I seen him when he first signed, he was playing away somewhere. I can't remember where it was midweek, and I seen him a photo of him, and well, he was in the stand, and he looked about 11. You look at him and think, Jesus, like he looks like a kid, but my God, he don't mind mixing it up, does he? He's very, very good like that. Dan Garvey saying cashing man of the match again last weekend. Yeah, I think he's cashing is like week in, week out. You know, everyone loves him at Blackburn, and I'm glad, you know, because he's a decent player. Just had a bit of a mare for us, didn't he? Those first few games. And I never got over the Coventry game with him, really, because when you see a fullback following the centre forward into the net, you know, it's like, it ain't great, is it? But I just think he had a bit of a mare in that game, and of course Robinson had been sent off, and the fans were a bit upset, and you know it wasn't a great day. But when I seen him in the last few games before he went, I thought he looked really, really sound, and I can start to see why Brighton paid £9 million for him. He's a very, very, he looks very, very good, and let's hope I hope he has a bloody good career, you know what I mean? Not against us, but you know what I mean. Dave Pegg saying I would have kept cash in, but that's my opinion. Yeah, I mean, we didn't need him in the end because we got Panzo, and I think that you know, Brighton have probably said to Chris Davis was after a left-sided centre half, and I think Brighton have said to him, you know, Cashin hasn't played very often in the first half of the season. Is he going to play in the second half, Chris? And he said, probably not. And I said, okay, we're going to find him somewhere where he's going to get some games. Dan saying Cashin playing right centre back for Blackburn. Is he playing on the right? Is he, Dan? Of course, he's left-footed. He's a left-sided centre back. That's what his position is. Can play left back, but he's not very big for a centre half. He's 6 foot. It says me like, you know, I'm 5'9" or something. But at 6 foot, it's not big for centre half. But he's he's good on the ground. He's quite strong. Anyway, let's stop talking about Blackburn players. Yeah, so tonight. If Barry Bannon plays, excuse me. If Barry Bannon plays, let's hope Solis beats him up. Give him a little nipple grins. Get out your little bastard. Get your fucking hair sorted out. What's going on with Bannon's hair, man? Style of play at Blackburn suits him more. Yeah, I mean, our style of play should have suited him really, because we play with the back four, you know. I mean, he can play left-sided centre half, so a back five would suit him as well. But I think he's a good player. I just don't think it's sort of happened for him here really. And Blackburn are sort of getting out of trouble a little bit now, aren't they? Another club I don't like, Blackburn. I don't like many, to be honest. Dave Pegg, we have got such a strong squad. We don't need to talk about other players. I don't know, I think you need to look at opposition players and see, you know, particularly if you're Chris Davis and Ben Petty, you're going to look at the opposition and think, you know, okay, their threat is going to come down the, you know, our left with Femi Aziz, you know, or whatever, and now we're going to combat it. And you know, I think our best way of stopping that right-sided attack is, you know, for our left side to do what it does so well, with Wagner and Ibrahim Osman. They work well together. I think Wagner gives him a lot of coaching as well whilst they play. He said that Osman has, and I think that's nice as well. It works well, and that left hand side for us, attacking left, can be also a way of pinning them back a little bit. Dan Garvey saying is our problem with Bannon is his movement. It pops up everywhere. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been in the side. It wouldn't surprise me if he was in the team tonight because they lost on Saturday. And he is a good player, there's no doubt about that. But you've got to, he's got to be able to be on the ball to ping it around, hasn't he? So if we, nullify him, then that's the best thing in it. Just give him a little, give him a little sullies. Hey Baron, come here. You little. He's a good player though, isn't he? To be fair. But he soon went, didn't he? He didn't want to be at Sheffield Wednesday anymore. I mean, fair play to him. He sort of gave him a few bob, I think, and he was giving it the big one about, he's Mr. Sheffield Wednesday, but then when Millwall come in, he's off like a shot. I suppose you can't blame him. I feel sorry for Sheffield Wednesday, to be honest. I know a couple of Wednesday fans. I do feel a bit sorry for them, but it happens to anyone, and you support your team, don't you? Oh, I'm shattered today. It's like 20 degrees here today. Spring's here, but the houses still aren't really warm at this time of year, so the house is cold. At the moment for us, like if you're feeling a bit cold in the house, go outside and get warmed up. That's the gospel truth, that is. Paul James saying, shit on the Villa slap for him, yeah. He deserves it. He needs a little slappy wappy around the head, a little bit of that hair fucking cut off. He needs to get himself sorted, man. What's the matter with him? He looks like a little mad gnome, doesn't he? Just does. Funny looking thing. Pretty good footballer. All right. So my prediction tonight is we're going to win. I'll never put a score on it. I do think we'll take the points tonight. All honesty, I wouldn't be upset with a draw. And I know everyone's going to say, yeah, but it wouldn't put us back into seventh. It doesn't matter because the games come as they come. A lot of teams are going to be playing on Saturday before we play on Monday. So you just got to, don't look at the table, just look at the points total. We get to 70 points, then I think, we're in those playoffs. 69, I think, because they're still taking points off each other. So I think we get into that sort of number and we're going to be in the playoffs and we haven't got to worry about the position until the very end. Paul James saying you're doing the live tomorrow. I think I will, Paul, because it'll be like, it's a post-match, isn't it? So I will do the live tomorrow. Probably going to be like, I don't know, 12:30, something like that. But I'll put it on in the morning. Obviously, so tomorrow we're doing, Beck and I are doing a recorded pilot for the women's health thing tomorrow evening. That's not going out tomorrow evening, but we can record it tomorrow. And then tomorrow afternoon, I've got to go and see my tattoo man at 3 o'clock. And I'm at work until probably 12:30. So obviously I'm an hour in front of you, so I could probably do the live at 12:30 your time, possibly. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it'd be good. More likely to do it if we win 6-0 than if we lose 6-0. But no, we will do it. It doesn't matter if we win or lose. We have to sort of look at the score and think, what's the way forward? Oh, jeez. 69, my favourite number, James Milton. Okay, James. Where's that? Dan Garvey saying after Charlton we will have 6 of our last 10 as home matches. that could be the telling factor for us. You know, it really could. Um, the Middlesbrough game on Monday is it's not a must win, but it's a really important game. So we got to fill the ground. We got to get the noise on them. It's good for us, I think, that it's a night game. You know, it's a night game under the lights, the fireworks, the fog when you can't see for 15 minutes after the fireworks. No, but you know what I mean. The atmosphere is brilliant under the lights at St Andrews, isn't it? Dave Peggy says he's looking forward to tonight more than the accounts meeting I'm having in 5 minutes at time. Well, that goes without saying, Dave. It's um, football comes first, mate. Absolutely. Um, let's see how many comments we got. Have a little look. We're up to 80 comments. We can hang on for a little bit longer if we still want to talk. If we've all done, then fine. Harry Parker's saying sorry. Was in the garden. Just popped in for a coffee. Catch up later. Winning 2-1 tonight. Yeah, I looked at your team today, Harry. Yeah, I understand playing that team. If we were playing someone a bit less physical, I think. Um, don't know, like Doyle blows a bit hot and cold, doesn't he? I don't know. Like, I just think if I'm playing a team like Millwall and I'm asked, would I rather have a Watter or Doyle in it? It would have to be Watter all day long, which is why I picked him. Just because of his physicality. It may well be that we need to bring Doyle on later. Fair enough, you know, but it wouldn't necessarily have to be at the expense of Iwata. I mean, I've said before that it's not impossible for us to play with three DMs. You know, it's like tonight we could play with three, but if we did, you'd have to lose a winger because you can't play with your two midfield players as like, you know, for instance, Dimmy and Vicente. They, you know, we just get run over through the middle. So it's we'd have to sacrifice one of them. So you know, it's a tough one really. But I think, you know, the 4-2-3-1 works for us. It's Chris Davis's favoured system and setup, and it's working for us at the moment. So you know, not too many complaints on that particular front. So yeah, we'll be on tomorrow. We'll have a little chat about the game tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon. I hope today that we can go out there and really, you know, let people start to see exactly what we can do. James Milton has come back and says, "Who's your favourite Blues player playing now?" For me, it's so difficult to pick. I think one that's made a massive difference to us is Solis. He steadied us down a little bit, and he's that physical presence that we didn't have in the middle of the park. But if I had to, like, I'd probably say Vicente, but I love Priska as well. And then you got Panzo and Osman and Wagner who are all, you know, playing out the skin. I don't know, James. Who would your one be, James? Who would everyone pick as their? If you had to pick one of those 6 that we signed in January, which one would it be? Pat Haslam is on. How you doing, Pat? Hope you're all right, mate. Billy was going to come over this weekend, but he's not now because he's got to go to some wedding. His brother's son's getting married or something. And then it's Derek's funeral next week, I believe. Pat, is that right? So yeah. So I would probably go with Vicente because I think he's probably made more of a difference to us since he signed. Where Solis, you don't notice so much, but he's an absolute beast, isn't he? And you know, he's our Patrick Vieira, and I hope on Saturday I think he was bogged down a little bit, and he was having a few lumps kicked out of him, and he did give a few loose balls away, but he still, for me, was like a 7 out of 10. Pat saying yes, Friday, Holy Family, yeah. Oh, mate. Hope it all goes well, mate. Harry Parker saying, Vicente favourite of the new ones, Harry saying. Yeah, he's been extremely good, hasn't he? The most unlikely looking Spaniard you've ever seen. I live here. I don't think I've ever seen a Spaniard looking like that. But he's a very, very good player. Paul James saying the BBC portrayed the club in a negative view. How about that memorial brick? As bad as Gary Newborn, in my opinion, when he was in charge of Central Sport, Villatosa, just saying, because it pissed me off. I don't really have any time for BBC, Evening Mail. That's why I don't like having any of their content in our group. Their content is usually crap. I do, however, like Brian Dick and Alex Dickin. I think they're both like pretty good. Sometimes they convince each other that there's going to be changes in the team that there's not. But I don't know, you have to remember that newspapers and social media sites like the BBC have and like the Evening Mail have are there to get you to click them. So anything that makes you click. Scott Harrison has come on, and hi Steve, 3 points tonight. I hope so, Scott. We were just saying it's going to be a hard one. If we can score early, get them on the back foot, get the fans to turn on them a little bit, it could be a very, very interesting night. But the problem is, is that we've seen, haven't we, that people always say, like that they've got to know, that they've like sussed us out. That's the one. They've sussed us out now. Like when we got 111 points last season, they've sussed us out. It takes you 5 minutes to suss the Blues out. The same as it takes you 5 minutes to suss any team that you play out. You watch their last few videos, you watch how they play, and you react, accordingly. It's not like it's a secret. It's not like, you can't watch every single team in the whole world, like on your computer now if you want to. So it's not, it's not like we play with under a bed sheet or something. Everyone can watch us play. They know how we play. They know how good Vicente is. They know how good Prisca is. They know that Osman's going to go wide down the left and take their big, fat, clumsy fullback and centre halves on. So it ain't a secret, and they'll be trying to do something to stop us doing it. That's the whole thing with tactical managers. They try their best to out-tactic the other one. And Alex Neil knows the division, but he ain't no Chris Davis, that's for sure. So for me, I think Davis is going to be like the more likely of the victors in that particular battle of football know-how. Harry Parker is saying he watched a couple of Millwall podcasts. They are shitting themselves, very negative about the way they're playing. It's a shame, really, isn't it? Because as much as I don't like Alex Neil either, I have got a little soft spot for Millwall. I've got a mate that lives in Bermondsey, bit of a Chelsea fan, but really he's a Millwall fan, And I've met him down there a few times when we've played down there. And I was saying in the group last night that I much prefer going to the old den than the new one. Granted, it's a bit of a scary place to go, but so are a lot of other places. But the old den had character, and it was I don't know, like just so much better. The first time I went to the New Den, I was so disappointed with it. It's like so cold. City upstairs, it's in the middle of Docklands. It's like the coach. If you go by coach, to take you straight to the more or less to the turnstile. Just I don't know, it's just sterile, isn't it? Which is why the chimneys is going to be so good. I can't wait to like ram it down the Villa throats. I can't because they're all it ain't going to happen, and all this shite. No planning permission. They are absolutely bricking it. So I can't wait. Can't come fast enough for me. But we just got to sit and just inwardly smile for a bit while they crap themselves. Um, but it's coming. It's coming. It's not far away. They've got, a whole. They haven't won a trophy this century. Tell them that they hate it. They absolutely hate it. And they have all the royals, don't they? The royal family, like, supporting them, like Prince Andrew and Prince Charles and William and I think before that's Queen Victoria when they had that running spell when they won a few leagues and that. So they're well in with the royal family. No doubt that probably if you're still alive, Jimmy Savile would probably be a Villa fan because he's big friends with Prince Charles. Jimmy Savile was, and Gary Glitter. I think I've seen him down the Villa. I think I've seen Gary Glitter down the Villa. Something about something happening up Gary Glitter or something. I can't really. Yeah. So Gary Glitter used to go down there, and Rolf Harris I see Rolf Harris in there as well in the Witten Arms. So they've got some very good celebrity supporters. Harry Parker's saying he watched a couple of Millwall podcasts. They are shit himself. Sorry, mate. Yeah. To be honest with you, Paul, I think that's exactly how it's meant to be about Tom Wagner. We haven't heard anything, and that's exactly how he wants it, how everyone wants it. I think he is in just complete rest, So everything, the world turns without Tom Wagner being there. So we'll let him have a little rest, and I'm absolutely certain he'll be back as fit as a fiddle and doing his thing. But I think the whole point of it is, let's just let him get on with it and get himself well, and hopefully he'll be at Wembley with us when we make the final of the playoffs. Fingers crossed. We've got 5 comments left. So, does anyone want to make any? Or have we done? Or what? Steve Harrison, 3 points tonight. I've seen that, Steve, yeah. So, sum it up. Yeah, I think we're gonna come out tonight with the 3 points. I really hope that we do. It'll keep the pressure on the teams above us. It makes Monday night less. I mean, Monday night's massively important, but do you like me fake news, Dan? Oh, you can't help it, mate. I think a lot of the Villa fans was in the Epstein tapes as well. I'm not sure. What was we talking about then? I forget now. You made me laugh. But anyway, yeah, we're going to try and get the 3 points. So yeah, it makes Monday less important, although it is important because we've got to average just under 2 points a game. So like we won on Saturday, so we got like a point spare. So if we drew tonight, we're still on the 2 points a game, aren't we? If we win tonight, we got 6 points from 2 games, so we're 2 points ahead of target. So we're going to Middlesbrough. Just say if we got beat, we'd still have the 2 points that we need to average for the season. You know what I mean, don't you? I'm not saying anyone's going to beat us because we're going to go the rest of the season unbeaten, aren't we? But tonight is a big game for us. There's no doubt about it. All these games are big now. So listen, you can call me the new the new Donald Trump if you want. You see, someone said to me the other day, you look a bit orange, you know, and you're a bit Donald Trumpish. It's like my light, the studio light has got a slight little, so it doesn't come out glaring, you know, a slight little orange tint on it. Only a little one. And of course, Lee Harvey telling me that his missus said I'm tanned. Woo! Here's Lee again. Look, live on Sky Monday. I hope that Villa not commenting. Oh yeah, Villa clowns. Listen, guys, thank you so much for tuning into me today. It's been an hour, the usual sort of length that we go for. I will be back tomorrow. I'll let you know what time in the morning. Sometime I'll probably do a little, just a little blog in the morning, and then we'll talk about the game tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully, we've got that. We've got those 3 points in the bag. We'll watch tonight. Don't forget, if anything goes wrong or whatever, please, you know, don't go on to the project and start, you know, doing all that crap that we get when we drop a point, you know. Be sensible, right? We're doing really, really well at the moment. Let's not ruin it. Keep our heads together. If you're travelling to Millwall, you better be going. Nah, you're all right. You got time. If you're travelling to Millwall, have a safe night. Don't be going under the bridges. You know what happens. But you're all right at the new ground. It's not as bad. Lee Harvey's saying, great live as normal, mate. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Come on, you blue boys. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, everyone. Keep right on noses, Paul James is saying. So, guys, have a fabulous day. Safe journey if you're going down. If not, watch it tonight and let's see what happens. And I'm sure we're going to get 3 points. And let's get the right arm this time. Ah, shit. There we go. Up the Blues. I'm going to have another couple of tattoos tomorrow, I think. Well, at least one. Well, I'm having a bit of tidying up done. I've got a couple of little bits that I want highlighting, and my 1875 there needs to be picked out a little bit, I think. But anyway, cheers, guys. Listen, have a fabulous day. Up the Blues. Come on, get them 3 points tonight. Come on, lads.